the motives behind how you utilize this? I think this is the question that we need to ask ourselves. There are no floating crowns in the universe. What you won't accept and honor, there is another one who will receive and preserve, and they will take care of that. And what I believe is that what you value, you protect. And it's good when you have a blueprint of how you did it. How can you honor the environment that helps you create this wealth so that you can attract more and you can grow in these ways? By honoring commitments to serve the people around us, which means consulting them. You cannot plant avocado seeds and harvest oranges. It's not happening. What you receive is a product of what you honor. I do strongly believe that money is a product of your ethics.
Welcome to the Storybook Africa podcast, a sanctuary of inspiration and transformation for the vibrant youth of Africa. Through the power of stories, we weave together the threads of resilience, hope, and cultural heritage, empowering young Africans to embrace their unique journeys with courage and confidence. From the sweeping savannas to the bright cities to the remote villages, each episode invites you to explore the diverse contexts that shape the extraordinary experiences and visions of Africa's youth. So, sit back, relax, and let us transport you through the heart of Africa, where lions roar, drums beat, and beautiful life happens, birthing tales of wisdom that foster healing, growth, and development.
Greetings from Addis Ababa. It's absolutely cold here. I know there's been quite a lot of rain in different parts of Africa, across the globe, but I hope that wherever you are safe. Welcome back to the Storybook Africa's Q&A, and today we'll be talking about protecting your hustle, aka how to make sure that you're preserving your environment in which you run your businesses and build your finance, making sure that you do not jeopardize your ability to prosper. This quarter, up until the end of June, we at the Storybook Africa will be talking about establishing business and finance prosperity. You've probably been seeing the posts making their rounds across our social media pages. And hey, we thank you. It's been a pleasure to engage with you across our social media pages and answering all the questions that you have regarding the area of business and finance. In Q1, we talked about love and connection. So it was nice to engage with you on that. And this time, we're still enjoying the questions that you send by email, you put in our DM. So keep them coming, Let us share our stories and let us grow together. So today we do continue on the topic of business and finance, and let's talk about some of the ways in which we poison or ruin our business and finances, jeopardizing our ability to prosper. Trying to build your finances and building wealth, it involves a combination of strategic planning, disciplined execution, continuous learning, consistency. So when we violate some of these principles, we defile the environment required to build our business and increase financial wealth. How long can you go on around compromising what you actually do before you succeed? And before we begin, I'd like to invite you to think about one of your favorite brands. What do you like about them, and what stands out to you about them? Is it how they present themselves? Is it the brand colors? Is it the consistency? Is it what they offer? Is it the standards in which they offer? Is it how they handle you in terms of customer service? Is it values and etc.? So what stands out to you about them? For me, I think about the Gates Foundation. I really like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They communicate about everyday issues, and they specialize in disease elimination and preserving the health of communities. And I find them to have these conversations in very creative ways. It does fuel my passion for health policy and advocacy. As you know, this is an area that I'm deeply involved in, aside from the conversations on youth empowerment that we do here at the Storybook Africa. I personally like how the Gates Foundation is very consistent consistent. They put people at the center, and they're very creative as well. Actually put their heart into the matter. When you look at some of the content that they put out, you can certainly see how they care about the conversations that they're having. They care about the communities that they're serving. And most of the times you can see how they're evolving in the conversation. You can see how they seem to be in touch with the communities. So they're fruitful and they multiply in funding by the year. And currently they are the biggest funders in global health. So to me, this speaks volumes in regards to them being proficient in what they do. So what would make you change your mind about supporting your favorite brands? I'm imagining now you already have your brand in mind. So what would they do to earn a lethal side eye? You know that side eye that you give to someone who's pissing you off and you're like, no, can never be me, ain't about to be me. And so what can they actually do to make you not get any of your attention or coin? Now, your answer to this question is some of the things that we'll be talking about today in a nutshell, and we'll reflect on them. So one of them for me is definitely dishonor. And what does this look like? You know, not respecting or recognizing the process of acquiring and maintaining success, right? You know how the brand attracts you. If it's, for example, a business of selling clothes and shoes, you probably did a market research. You looked at the gaps, the audiences, what can you possibly offer and how can you offer it? And so sometimes, you know, we get familiar with our audiences, their likes, their followers, the engagement, and then we start to slack, right? And sometimes there's just little disrespectful ways of dealing with people. Maybe you're going through something in life and then you start to be short and sharp with your clients, or you just start to not be honest with them. You promise something and you don't give that. Another way could be, you know, not honoring the legal and ethical standards that ensure that a business operates within the rightful law. So you're a shop that sells stuff every day. The city council is by your door. You know, your customers and city council, they're fighting each other at the entrance because they're always trying to come and check up on your business or just stuff. You know, maybe you're required to meet a certain standard of hygiene, but you're just not doing that. And so the authorities that maintain the environment guidelines, they're on you, right? For example, if it's money issues, there's taxation, maybe you're not complying with the taxes, the fines, all of this can really contribute to a damaged reputation. And the stories continue to flow. You can imagine of a scenario where we've heard about a business that was very successful only to hear of drama. I don't know, the brother stole from someone and now they're fighting. And even if this brand is selling like socks, you know, I don't want to be the one who's wearing socks from a brand that is known for drama of theft and, you know, just cutting corners. So all these ways of dishonor, if you're a business owner, if you're trying to manage your own personal finances, how can you honor the principles of earning this? How can you honor the environment that helps you create this wealth so that you can attract more and you can grow in these ways? For example, tithing, you know, we've not mentioned that tithing, giving back to the community. If you borrow debt, making sure that you pay that debt on time, pay it when you said you pay it, without making the person have to follow you around and just ask a gazillion and one questions. So these are some of the things that you're definitely thinking about. And even respecting, you know, relationships, monetary relationships and how they should ideally flow. I don't like when a person who I don't have deep, profound relationship with starts to ask me for money. It's a bit odd. More or less not building transactional relationships, but honoring people. And we'll talk more about relationship as we go on. And also, I would say a form of dishonor is just disrespect for humanity. When I look at the Gates Foundation example, in the humanitarian sector, there are some laws that govern the kind of pictures, the images, the state in which you can portray people that you utilize, for example, in advocacy videos. And so we've seen that in Africa, we can tell the story. You know, most of the media houses or people, they portray us as hungry, dirty, in need, poor, just disgraced in some way. And that's not the full picture. So in some shape or form, as a brand, as a person, do you treat people with the dignity for their humanity that they actually deserve?
Don't you just love stories? Stories shape how we understand the world, our place in it, and our ability to change it. We are all products of our backgrounds, perceptions, and experiences, which form how we interpret the world. So we all have unique stories to share. You too can inspire the world with your story. The Storybook Africa accepts stories under 3 categories all year round: Young and on Fire, Note to Younger Self, and Dear Diary. You can also join us to transform the lives of youth in Africa by 1. Participating in youth empowerment projects we run, through which we partner with businesses owned by young Africans to host events, run campaigns, or award grants for business expansion. 2. Submitting or buying a digital product from our e-shop, which is a hub of amazing items that can support the community's healing, growth, and development journey crafted by young Africans. Excited to partner with us? Visit our website today for more information: www.thestorybook.whitneymwangi.com.
What you receive is a product of what you honor. I do strongly believe that money is a product of your ethics, not necessarily hard work, what you do, but how you do it, right? And so number 2, using business or money as a tool to serve fleeting or unhealthy desires. And what this can look like is, buying people's affection or presence. You're the person who splash, let's chop the money. And I don't necessarily see a problem with taking care of the people who are around us, making them feel good and appreciated, because money and your business can be a tool of honoring other people. But what are the motives behind how you utilize this? I think this is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Also, another way you can do this is maybe having your business as a meetup for like malicious gossip, gambling, other deceptive works of the hands. I've gone to places where I can literally smell weed. Like, let's say I'm trying to get a manicure and I'm around a neighborhood. Maybe I was going to run an errand and then I decided, let me pop into a place and just get my nails done real quick to save on time. And I've been in situations where I get into a place, it looks so cute on the outside, but I come in, I find, some funny groupings. Now I'm not sure what's going on and I can smell like it's like some weed or just something was being had there. And then they've sprayed those kinds of things, guys. Think about your business and how you use your money. You know what I'm talking about, yeah? And I'm sure you can come up with some of these examples to just see how you can reduce deceptive of hands so that you sort of polish and clean out your environment. At the core of it, when you do things like this, it's a waste. It's wastage, it's leakage of your blessings. There are no floating crowns in the universe. What you won't accept and honor, there is another one who will receive and preserve, and they will take care of it. So let's not be the people who our blessings are just floating around, or we have leaking taps that we don't honor the blessings that we have with us. We eventually lose them. And so number 3, dishonesty in the area of business and finances. So this could look like using false scales in your business, money laundering, or even not putting in mechanisms to define how to clean up your business. Is your business able to define fake versus real money? Is your business able to measure quality standards and maintain that? Are you a kind of a person who overpromises and under-delivers in your networks, friendships, and clientele? Are you a person who ensures that you have good quality of merchandise? Are you a person who's able to ask for feedback from your clients and honor that feedback, right? You listen actively, you make improvements where it's necessary, so you ensure that you're giving better products, better services, your environment is improving. Are you a person who recognizes efforts and contributions of your employees? You recognize them? Do you give them growth opportunities? Do you foster motivation and loyalty? Ignoring some of these aspects, ignoring feedback, ignoring the people who actually help you, it is a form of a dishonor, and it is a form of dishonesty, because you are portraying yourself as a one-man show, yet without all the people that you work with, without ensuring standards met, quality assurance, right? That there's nothing to your business, there are no finances, right? Not doing these kinds of things, or just being dismissive about who's around you, what needs to be done, it can lead to stagnation and dissatisfaction on your part and also on the part of the people that you serve, right? Remember, your fruits will always be accurate. They will always really show. There's a popular quote that people say, you cannot plant avocado seeds and harvest oranges. It's not happening, right? And so, dishonesty, right? And I'm curious to know from you, what are some of the ways that you maintain honesty, that you honor yourself, you honor the people around you? What are some of the ways that you make sure, you are using your business and your money to serve healthy desires, and sink your foundation? Then number 4, lack of preparation or planning. You just spend it. Let's go all out. So there's definitely an environment for this. I agree, and I have no problem with that, because sometimes I save for a long time and then myself, I set out to just spend and have a good time. But there's a time for everything, right? And not defining your goals, that doesn't help you. And sometimes it's important to look at some financial practices and principles, such as budgeting. How can you invest wisely? How can you set a foundation for financial stability and growth? What are some of the financial risks? Like right now, there's a lot of flooding. There are people who've lost their homes. So how do we prepare for times like this at an individual level, at a business level, right? How do we define our goals? How do we ensure that we look at the principles that can keep us from growing, that can actually help us identify opportunities? By honoring commitments to serve the people around us, which means consulting them, to see what's really going on. This can help us prepare and plan to serve the communities the best way that we can. Not preparing is actually preparing to fail. One of my favorite mentors says that. And what I believe is that what you value, you protect. And it's good when you have a blueprint of how you did it, so that when you're extending your hand to those who are coming after you, you're able to really teach them what actually works and what doesn't, right? Because you've been through it and you know. And then lastly, let's look at going by your own counsel and without advisors, right? This could look like, not bringing your plans before God for clarity and guidance, not consulting with coaches, not getting trainings. You are the alpha and omega, beginning and the end. And sometimes you may have accumulated a lot of experience, so you're sort of confident in what you're doing, but things are changing. And like for me, I always say there are people who are they're dealing with the areas that I would like to venture into on a day-to-day basis. Let's talk about like a podcast editor. I can edit a podcast, but there is a person out there who does podcast editing work day in, day out, by the hour. So they are obviously better. There are things that they know that I don't. There's a certain level of patience that they have that I don't. So it helps when you're able to seek advice from people like this who are more keen on what's happening. Even consulting like malevolent powers like mediums, sorcerers, these crystal balls and other forms of impure spiritual practices. It can lead you to deception. And in this way, you have advisors, you have counsel, but it's misguided counsel. It's deceptive counsel. So you don't have anything. And I'm reminded of Proverbs 11:14 that says, where there is no wise, intelligent guidance, the people fall and go off course like a ship without a helm. But in the abundance of wise and godly counselors, there is victory. And also another one, Proverbs 21:20 reminds me, a fool and his money are soon parted. So we cannot downplay the importance of having counsel and advisors, people who've been in the field long enough, they've had experience, they know what's the best way to go, and they can guide you. So in a nutshell, guys, I'm all about the money. I'm all about the bag. I'm all about us growing financially. I'm all about us prospering in our businesses and setting a healthy environment for the young generation coming behind us, to find people who know what works when it comes to rising out of poverty. If it's poverty mindset, if it's actual poverty of resources, that we've walked the path, we understand what is actually necessary to prosper, and we are dishing out the tips and the insight of how to rise from the ashes. We're all about the glow up, eh? I don't know about you, but me, I'm getting off the struggle bus and I'm about to just go and glow. Yeah. And so I'll be curious to hear from you. How do you just ensure that your business and finances are flourishing, they're prospering? How do you extend the knowledge that you have to other people around you, your family, your friends, colleagues, your community? And how can you extend that to the larger community of African youth wherever they are? So be sure to connect with us on our social media pages. That's the Storybook Africa across all the pages. Drop us an email at info@thestorybook.whitneymwangi.com and let's talk about it. In a nutshell, nutshell, today we've talked about, honoring your financial systems and structures that you have in place to ensure that you have a strong business and, healthy means of making money. And then, using your money for healthy pursuits, being honest, planning and preparation, and then finding a multitude of counsel, right? So that we are not, again, recycling pain, and we are not operating from a place where there's not adequate knowledge that can make the path easy. We don't need to struggle. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're working hard. Let's be okay with the soft life. Working smart, right? So that we have enough time to be all-rounded and enjoy the fruits of our labor. So that's that from me. I hope that was helpful. And hey, remember, blessings need a home. They need a home. There are no floating blessings just waiting for random people to collect them. They're meant for me and you. So are you a suitable home for what you have in your hands? If you're trusting God, for example, for a new business or increase in wealth, have you made room for more by cleaning up your environment to actually receive and retain what you're praying for? So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you'll take some time to reflect on the conversation that we had today. And it's been a pleasure to, just chat with you. And I hope to hear from you regarding this topic. I've been your host, Whitney Mwangi. I'm the founder of the Storybook Africa. And take care. Bye.
So that's our story. What's yours? Be sure to connect with us on social media at The Storybook Africa on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, or at The Storybook_AF on Instagram and X. Subscribe to the Storybook Africa podcast today on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Until we meet again, keep writing your own story, and may it be a testament to your limitless potential. Hakuna Matata for now, and remember, your story matters.